Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Silent Podcast, a place where everything but silent. I am your host, Isaiah, and I am here with my two co-hosts, Geneva
Hey, how's it going?
and Sasha.
Hi, y'all.
And we're here to talk about Temptation Island episode 4. Abby was going to be here, but some stuff came up, so now I'm here. It's a late night. I mean, there's never too late to talk about Temptation Island. But we've been begging for like this juicy drama, like the cheating. I mean, it's bad to say, but like all that fun stuff, and it seems like we're finally about to get that stuff. But before we dive into this episode, guys, how do you feel about episode 4?
Wild. More like finally. Maybe I shouldn't say wild, but like finally. Like we've beaten around the bush, but here we are.
How about you, Geneva?
We got lots of fights. We got lots of questioning people's character, who's fake, who's not. We saw some revealing things that we expected were going to happen soon. So it was much better than the previous episodes, I'd say.
All right. So, I mean, we could just jump into this. So basically we pick up last time where we thought Kendall and Alexis, right? That's how you're saying it? It's not
Alexis.
Yeah, it just spelled differently.
Oh, no, yeah, I keep forgetting that. Basically they were talking and, they kissed and everything, but it kind of got left on a cliffhanger. You didn't know if they're going to sleep together or not. But basically they don't really go past that. So I mean, okay, like Kendall allegedly thinks he has like some sort of what was the word I'm looking for, like boundaries or something.
No, she does. Alexis. Yeah.
And
Kendall would have done it. Don't, please.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, what's your initial thoughts on Kendall here with Alexis? Because honestly, he keeps saying that like as long as I'm out here, I'm single. I'm going to take this experience for what it is. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Because if it was the other way around, I don't think that he'd be too happy.
Yeah, I mean, he's just dirty, right? Like he's trash. Like we've been known he's trash, and like it's really interesting how he was being so much nicer to Alexis. I guess they all start nice and then they wild out later. But he literally was saying like, you're my number 1 draft pick. You're so great, blah, blah, blah. And Alexis is living in La La Land because she was like, I don't want you to break my heart, da-da-da. And then he is such a gaslighter because he goes, I've been clear with my intentions. Shouldn't you know already? Like, da-da-da. Like, my ultimate goal is to be a better version of myself. And he's just trying to dive into this experience. So just like a whole bunch of like buzzwords, BS. Like, he sucks. He sucks.
Yeah, the more we see Kendall, I'm just like, does he have like a moral like compass or something? Like, I don't know. He really doesn't think he's doing anything wrong here, and it's a bit I don't know. It's very confusing, but I don't know. There you go with him. But they go back to the party or whatever, and we're starting to see Thomas is starting to catch feelings for like Sophia. So I think I will say this: Sophia, out of all the singles on the girls and guys side, seems like the most human out of all of them, in my perspective, at least. I don't know if there's like conflicting opinions on that, but she seems like the least annoying. I guess like actually here with like either a goal to find love, or B, to genuinely help the other person, like grow as a person. So I like Sophia. I don't like what Tom's is doing because he's quote unquote trying to stay loyal to his girlfriend, but whatever. So I mean, that there you go with that, and then basically, I don't know. Like before I even move on, how do you guys feel about their connection?
I can't imagine, right? I don't know what Geneva feels, but I can't imagine that this is real. Like Tom, the episode was called Blake the Fake. It should be Tom the Fake, first of all, because no, like it's so like just fake. Like I don't know what else. It's so facetious how they're just like sitting there. Thomas, and then later on we see it too, right? He says she has pretty eyes. I don't know. It's like it's so BS, like up top, like, you know, surface level nonsense. And I can't believe girls fall for this. Like, I can't believe it.
You
And
know,
I like Sophia too. Sorry.
no, I think it seems really sad because I feel like a lot of these girls on the show, they probably just don't get a lot of attention on the outside world. So for them, any form of attention is automatically positive, regardless of what type of attention that is. And that's why I think Alexis is like thinking, oh, I'm in such a fairy tale, you know, with Kendall and everything. But in reality, it's like, you know, I don't, why are you praising this sort of behavior? I'm really confused by it. I think with, you know, like Sophia and Thomas, I mean, I think that they're kind of cute, but I'm not really sure where that would realistically go. I mean, they're flirting, and I guess it's endearing, but I'm not necessarily shipping them per se or anything like that. So they're just kind of there for me, but she seems nice, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Yeah. So basically we get back to the party. And I don't know, we're seeing a lot of other people like, you know, bond and whatever. But you're seeing people like Kristen, she's feeling like a lot more refreshed. She's starting to open up to people. You're seeing like Aaron and Shaq doing this thing where Shaq feels like he's gaining like feelings for you know, Aaron. She's like, don't do that. But he's open about it. What thoughts on Shaq?
I liked him, but in this episode, I think he started to kind of annoy me just because I feel like like kind of what we've been talking about in previous recaps. I feel like these singles feel like they are entitled to have the attention of the people who came from the relationships. And so I just feel like Shaq is expecting Aaron to just continuously like progress a relationship with her just because they went on a date before. But I feel like part of the experience is to explore and get to know different people. And for Aaron, she's kind of made it clear that she doesn't necessarily want to jump into a relationship with any of the new people. Like we see that she's had a lot of regrets for actually bringing Corey there in the first place. So because of that, I just think that for Aaron, she, you know, she definitely doesn't really want to, you know, push any boundaries because that's not what she wants to do anymore. I think at first she's like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then she's like, no, I'm feeling weird about this. I'm going to lose Corey. I'm scared of that. So I think this is a way for her to distance herself from people because she's like, yeah, I want to grow in this experience and get to know people, but I also don't want to have to deal and engage with somebody who, like, you know, may have feelings that I don't necessarily have because I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to dip real quick. I got some news, guys, so I have to dip, but I will be right back. I'm going to let you guys keep going now.
So, yeah. We'll miss you. Yeah, I agree. I think it's really interesting, right? Because Erin was talking about finding people in common, and she thought the guys were a lot cooler. Like, to me, I don't know where Erin stands, right? Like, I think that's what I keep kind of going back to, where with the other girls, you're kind of like, okay, Chelsea wants this or needs this. Chelsea, you know, like Kristen needs this, and Erica, you know, needs, wants, whatever, this. But everyone else, I really feel like, or sorry, with Erin, I'm just like, why are you here? Like, it makes no sense. And I literally wrote in my notes, like, do you think she only likes Shaq because his name resembles an athlete? Because, like, my God, it's so weird to me because, again, she's saying, I don't want to lead anyone on. I don't want to hurt anyone, right? And everyone's still working on themselves. But again, it doesn't make sense what she's saying. And then she kind of moves to Evan. Like, literally, it feels like next shot, she's with Evan and then asking him out on a date. So what was your thoughts, about like Aaron and Evan's situation also?
Yeah, so let's definitely touch on that. So Evan, and Aaron, just giving a background for everybody who's
Mm-hmm.
listening and watching, he talks to her about her general experience within this whole Temptation Island thing.
Yeah.
And Erin is realizing that she needs to deal with stuff that she's never dealt with before, or else, she'll never be able to manage. And Evan says he knows what she means by that completely. And he starts talking about how his stepfather passed away and how he was raised by his stepfather. And he was basically his father.
Mm-hmm.
And Evan has grown so much from the situation. Like his heart and mind and mentally, he's gotten so much stronger, and mentions that life comes at you sideways, but you have to adjust. And he gets pretty emotional. And so then Erin actually talks about her best friend who she lost when she was 19. And she said she can't imagine like what he's going through, but like she wants to be here for him. And then she gets emotional as well. I actually liked the conversation. I thought it was refreshing. I think that, I'm starting to see more of a genuine emotional connection that Aaron is finally forming with someone. And I'm glad we got to see a bit more of Evan, because the last episode was kind of crazy with the whole Blake situation. But she does mention that there are a lot of people that she can relate to and she has things in common with. And it's not every day you meet someone who's gone through the same thing. And basically, a lot of the guys are cooler than she thought. And her main goal is to learn from these guys. And that's kind of why I'm thinking that like Aaron's objective at this point is just to learn and grow and not necessarily to form a relationship with it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. And then we kind of move to Chelsea, right? Which is kind of the biggest piece. It's the name of the show, right? Blake's a fake or whatever. So yeah, like now we go to. First of all, I got confused because I didn't even realize that she's talking to someone that isn't Blake. That's how like forgettable these singles are. So you see Chelsea, she's now talking to someone named Tom, not Thomas, but Tom, which
that
again
doesn't help because like literally like she also calls Thomas Tom, and so I'm like Thomas, and then Blake calls him Tommy sometimes. I don't know. It's like a mess.
No, I figured it out. It's that she just doesn't want to get them confused. And so what's the easiest thing you do? You find a guy with the same name. So your partner doesn't know if you're talking about him or the other guy. We love it. But let's talk through this a little, right? So like first you see Chelsea and Thomas, or Tom, let's call him Tom, is like they're having like a conversation first about nothing, like normal bonding, and then it moves towards like how Chelsea's seen through Blake's fakeness. And of course, Blake is like cussing in the confessional. He's like, what the heck? Da da da. And then while this is happening and Aaron and Evan is happening, Blake and Shaq get together, which I didn't know they were friends, but that was an interesting moment where they're in the kitchen kind of talking. And Shaq is pissed that Aaron asked Evan out on a date because they had a really beautiful moment, and then Aaron asked him out on a date. And then on the other hand, Chelsea also asked Tom on a date and not Dr. Blake. So this is kind of the crux of this like blow up almost, where it looks like and I love when Shaq said, I'm so freaking pissed. Like that confessional was hilarious. And then he kind of talks about how they both kind of talk about how they pick girls with the worst radar. They always these girls always like guys that are garbage, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And then they realized we, as in Shaq and Blake, are the two people that confessed that they had feelings for girls. And then those girls ask other people out on dates. And that kind of, and then Kristen with the best line, it's only day 2. But would you be mad, like if you were a single?
I think I would be upset. But I think this is the thing that the singles need to remember is like, they're not entitled to anything.
Yes.
This process is really like, sure, you're going to hope that you're going to find love, but what are the odds that you're going to find love on Temptation Island? I think they're very low. And in reality, it's a process for growth for the couples and their personal relationships. And so like, just as many times as Blake says that he's not going to pressure Chelsea, he also needs to chill if, you know, Chelsea asks someone else on a date. Like, I don't know. Like, I get that feelings are involved. I mean, I would not probably be happy if I went on, you know, a couple dates with somebody and then they chose to go on another date. But like, you know, I just thought that the reaction was a little
Yeah.
overboard. I'm just going to say that, considering how early in the process this is. This isn't like we're at episode 10. This is like we're at episode 4, and when the show really started on episode 2. So we barely even have that much of momentum, and we haven't been here that long. So that's why I'm just like, these people need to relax. It's okay.
Exactly. And then it kind of ends there, right? And then it goes into the dates. First of all, high level, like these dates are hilarious and so different, right? Like people are getting a catamaran, like, and you know, horseback riding and ATVing, and then other people are getting foot golf. So to me, it's like, where's the consistency? Because I don't think I'd be happy if if my boyfriend is on a catamaran and I'm over here foot golfing with someone.
Erin was happy, right?
Yeah, well, yes, because that's literally her brand, right? Like, she literally has no other personality.
You know, it is, but you know, it seems like they're trying to like switch around the dates, but it's
For
like
sure.
really weird. Yeah, it was strange. It was like people were just in different places. We saw the ATVs, and we saw Erica with Jesse.
Yeah.
And she was noticing all the great qualities that he has, wishing that Kendall had them. And then Chelsea and Tom basically flip over because that's what he asks for. And she's like, "Oh, I made your dreams come true by flipping over the ATV."
She's a mess, though. She really is.
And I was like, okay. Yeah, so there was that whole thing. And then they had, you know, I guess, a conversation. And she said that basically, even though Blake checks off everything on her list, she doesn't want to put all her eggs in one basket. And Tom's like, "You're obviously smart and you can see through the fake and real people and filter out the bad people. And if there's another date that we could go on, that would be great." And I'm just like, okay.
Thomas is here for clout, right? Like Tom, sorry.
Yes.
Single Tom, I mean. Not flirting Tom. But single Tom is definitely there just for clout and dates. Because, first of all, don't you think it's weird that she talks about Blake more than she does her own man? Like, to me, she's so obsessed with Blake, and then like wants to be like constantly reassured that he's into her, but it's like that's almost blowing up in her face, and she's kind of going where the wind blows about what people think about Blake. So that's causing a lot of stress for her.
She's so done. She's so done with Thomas.
Yes. Oh my God. I really hope she is, because he's also, but she's a mess too. Like, ugh. Like, through this whole episode, we really see how she's also part of like the problem, and it's not all Thomas and his flirting. And then we kind of go into the horseback riding date. So it's Thomas and Corey on this date. So Thomas goes on a date with Sophia, and they're, you know, like he's talking about being tempted by Sophia, and how he feels like he's lost a bit of his essence. And you mean like you've lost a bit of your like flirt? Like, you know, what is it that you've actually lost, my guy? And then Sophia, you know, kind of says that, oh, you need to be yourself. Like, if you're with me, you never get into trouble with being who you are. You should be living your best life. And currently you're not. And again, this is kind of like frustrating. Abby actually said this when we were all chatting in our group chat about how, you know, like Tom, like these people are single for a reason. And like of all the people that should be giving advice, like this isn't it. And you could tell they're getting a little cute and together, but like I don't think this is like anything real yet.
Yeah, it's like they're flirting, they're playful, they're having fun. I just don't see any depth at this point within the relationship. And they're just like, "Oh, you tempt me. Oh, you tempt me. Oh, okay." And I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
all right, I want to see them have a conversation like, Aaron had with Evan or something. And then
Yes.
maybe I'll feel some type of way in a maybe positive or negative about Thomas and Sophia. But until that happens right now, I'm just like, okay, he's having fun. He's flirting. But like, I think she's going to be expecting more out of him. So it's kind of a question of whether he's going to like make a move or do more. Or
Yeah.
is he just gonna just chill? But I know that she's not gonna like that if he just tried to chill. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I can see you're right, some conflict brewing there, and it's really funny. Like it's almost like we were watching the the theme song play. Like you're not gonna tempt me over and over again with these two. And then we kind of this is a little bit more real, right? The next date, Corey and Amanda, I think is her name. And they really like Corey thinks she's really easy to talk to. They joke a little bit, they're vibing, and blushing, and Aaron, not Aaron, sorry. And Amanda, talks a little bit about everything's bigger in Texas, and it's really important for her that, they give this a serious chance. And Corey also talks about how he's shook, frustrated, that like Aaron brought him here. And that just shows that she isn't afraid to lose him, which I know I saw in a little bit of previews that that's like a big issue for him. And then it's really wild because Amanda just like shark in the water. She sniffs it and she's like, but me, like, that's why I'm here, because I will treat you well. Like all that kind of like very basic to me human stuff. So what do you think about these two?
Oh, the whole Texas thing?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay, why are you guys going here? This whole, I don't know. I was just like, okay, how many times have I heard this line of,
yes.
this? Oh, you're gonna make me blush. Oh, I don't know. I was just like, all right. I don't know. For some reason, I was just like, whatever. But
yeah, all these dates were whatever. I want to definitely say that. And then the foot golf piece was also boring. Like, Erin thinks that Shaq's a good friend. That's why she went with Evan, because she feels like she actually has a connection. And then Kristen is just excited in general. She's just excited to be out. She likes that the conversation flows with her date. I don't even remember his name. And he notes that she doesn't open up so easily, but he's thankful that, she still picked him and feels like he's, different and not like the rest. So they're actually going to maybe open up to each other. That was kind of it, right? Nothing else came out of the foot golf part of it.
No, not really.
Yeah. And then the Catamaran Date, which I felt like was the nicest date, I will say. Julian, again, you see like him and Kristen it's so funny how similar they are, where they're just kind of excited to be there, enjoying the moment. He said the same line almost to Maya before they went out on date, where he really like is thankful for Maya to help him open up, and she has impacted him in many ways, and she actually reminds him of his own girlfriend, and she kind of doesn't, I don't even know if she said anything, definitely not in my notes, but she was kind of just like
she was like, okay, cool,
yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
She's like, this guy isn't cheating.
Yeah. She didn't say much, but maybe they'll form a solid friendship that they could both leave.
Yes. Yeah. I really, and Maya's older. I think she's 32, right? So,
yeah.
And she's from the Bay Area. So yeah, I agree as well. I hope nothing but the best for Julian. We love Julian on this podcast. So, and I really think he's trying to, give content without being like crossing the line. And Kendall and Alexis, they're crazy. Like these two and their stupid sexual innuendos, like white chocolate or dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. And then I don't know. I was just like, just eat the strawberries, okay? Like,
yeah, and then strawberries. Yeah, and then this is where again Alexis is in La La Land, because she talks about how she hopes that he realizes her acting like this is showing him that she likes him.
Yeah. I was like, okay. And then he was like, what, braiding her hair or something.
Oh.
And then they were like watching the sunset and stuff. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting date.
My only note for this one, I literally put in all caps. He's braiding her hair, but this man can't even iron his own clothes when it comes to his past relationship. So that's how literally all you need to know about Kendall and what kind of a trash he is, because he literally will sit here, do all this stuff for for Alexis all of a sudden. Literally braiding her. Anyway.
Oh, well, before we move on from this,
yes,
Joseph did ask a question. Does Kendall really like Alexis? Is that the question? I don't know. I think he's attracted to her.
Yes.
I think that he enjoys her company, her attention.
She's wild, and I think that's what he likes. And she's exact opposite, I feel like, of Erica.
Absolutely.
That's, I think, what he likes. Number 1 draft pick, but the draft isn't so hot.
But again, I don't know anything. I don't know anything really about her except that she mentioned once that she's cheated, I think.
Yes, and but she has her walls up.
Yes. So
you know what? They're made for each other. That's what it is.
There you go. Maybe perfect match. Joseph, that might be the answer.
You guys are in charge. I'm following you guys.
Oh my god.
So basically we just talked about Alexis and Kendall, and now we're going to talk about the talent show. The
let's go to the talent show
at the Villa. So this was kind of run by Tula, and she introduces Nicole, who basically dances, but does like her dance was like a cartwheel split type situation going on. And then Sophia's like, oh, let's see the way like I can bend, and she licks her elbow. And then Alexis, of course, was like, she didn't have time to prepare a talent. So she's making the first move, and then she just started making out with Kendall.
First of all, Kendall looked so traumatized after that kiss. He was like,
he's like, am I making the right decision here?
That was like gross. Again, like to me, it's like, stop trying to make Alexis and Kendall happen, because like it's gross. It really is gross. And I don't want to again jump, but like that music that they got as they were going to the hotel room. Shut up, MTV. No, not MTV. Temptation Island. Like
USA.
No.
There you go.
USA. Yeah, thank you. I was like, please don't. No, this is stupid. It's just like gross. I don't like them. I really don't like Kendall. Maybe that's what it is. But like this talent show was just a way again to get Alexis to make out with Kendall.
Yeah.
Can I say the funny part about this though was Corey's reaction? He's like, that first kiss, it was so shocking. He's like, wow, connections are being made.
Oh,
I don't know. I just was like, wow, like this literally like affected Corey in some way, because he talked about it even later. So I just
Oh my god, you're right. And Corey, it was Corey definitely is that person. And I feel like sometimes I'm like that when I'm watching a show, and I'll be like, oh, what would I do if I was in that situation? That's Corey, because he was like, oh, that means Aaron must be forming relationships and connections. I wonder what she's done. Am I behind? And meanwhile, Aaron is like, I miss Corey. I wish I didn't do this. Like Corey's gonna cheat first, I think, out of the two, but out of like insecurity.
Out of Corey and
Aaron.
Yeah.
No, I just feel like if he sees anything crazy at the bonfire, it's a wrap.
Yeah. I can see him.
He's so weak. Like he's so weak.
Yeah. He seems like I feel like the producers are going to manipulate one of the vault ceremonies, and then he's going to be like, oh, I'm free to do what I need to do.
Yes,
you know, I don't know.
Exactly.
Geneva, you are a host for the rest of the night, so go ahead.
Okay, well, so at the woman's villa, there was a pillow fight. So people were having lots and lots of fun there.
Wait, I have a question. Like, to whoever's listening out there, comment down below if you're watching it later when we're not live. But like, do men really think that this is what girls do on sleepovers?
No. Well, I mean, at least
Okay,
to me,
good.
at least to someone like me, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
I was shocked to see it going down on the TV show. I'm like, what's going on here, man? Like, no.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, okay, we can move on now.
So Chelsea basically confronts Blake and was like, well, can you wait a minute? And then Chelsea tells Blake that he's so worried about everyone else and he's trying to have his image perceive that he's an amazing guy, but it's a little fake to her. And Blake's like, well, it's weird because I was starting to have feelings for you. And then Chelsea just rolls her eyes like, what is wrong with you?
Not
And then
that.
he's like, when you roll your eyes like that. And she's like, I just want to really believe you, but it's really hard. He's like, let me speak for myself. And basically she's like, I was starting to feel a certain way, that other people were validating it. And then he was getting concerned. He's like, who are you being manipulated by?
Oh, and she did not like that. She was like,
No.
manipulated. What do you mean? I make up my own mind.
Dr. Blake.
I know. And he's like, Chelsea, I hope you have enough wits and radar about you and that you know that the guys are stirring the pot and what guys have relevant things to say. And she's just like, prove me wrong, just saying. And then Blake is in his confessional, like, oh, like someone has chirped in her ear. There's a snake in the house. So what were your thoughts on this conversation, guys?
Honestly, Dr. Blake, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think Dr. Blake is a mess, honestly. Just a mess, honestly.
Yeah, I like Dr. Blake until this episode. I will say, as a reformed F boy that I am, I feel like I played this game. I really did. Like, I remember being like, but I like you. But I told you, I did not like them. I really did not. I liked them in the moment and that was it. And then I moved on. So like, I really in my heart, like, understand this kind of behavior. So Blake, you shady, and we clocked you because he's over here saying, I already have feelings for you and don't roll your eyes. Like, shut up, Blake. Shut up.
He's annoying, honestly, and he can go.
He literally, I wish he would go. But then 10 Toast Tommy.
Have I ever told a lie? I keep it real. If Chelsea asked me about Blake, I would say he's fake in the house, and I told her straight up.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, the men are really there to date each other and become best friends. Like, they're not there for the girls, except Evan, because, he gets really heated if you don't give him a chance. But, oh my God, 10 Toast Tommy needs to shut the hell up also, because they're all manipulating Chelsea, right? Like, who are the two guys outside, like, yapping also?
Trent and Rocky, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was Rocky. Yeah, for sure.
They were weird.
They were making me uncomfortable.
I didn't even know they were on the show.
Yeah, I just knew Rocky's name because he's Rocky Butter.
That was very bizarre. Just that whole segment of those guys, I was just like, why are you here? Like, when they do the eliminations, I would eliminate them like immediately because I'm just like, no.
No, they're literally there to like stir the pot. Like, that's all it is. And like, the producers were like, we'll give you an extra 1,000 if you like mess with this or, do this, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that's the kind of behavior that was, because it was like, it was a mess. And Chelsea is like, I know she really wants to do this, like, I'm an independent woman, blah, blah, blah. But like, you're not. You're literally not, because first of all, if I tell you, Isaiah, or you, Geneva, like, hey, the sky is green, and then you don't believe it, but then you're like, let me like check if the sky is green, and then you'll start seeing the trees, and they'll be like, oh, maybe there is some reflection, right? And you'll start believing it. That's literally what's happening, where someone told her some droplet of info, and now she's like, oh, Blake, I'm just looking, and I'm definitely like, I also see it. It's not just them telling me. Shut up, Chelsea. Shut up. They're all a mess.
Shut up, Chelsea. Well, did you even get into Shaq?
So
now we can get into that piece. Shaq v. Erica.
So Oh my goodness. So yeah, so we learn even more. Like Sasha touched on this a bit earlier. We find out that Blake and Shaq are friends. That's like a thing, right? So they had a conversation about like what's going on. And basically Blake's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Why don't you call them out? So then, Shaq like goes up. He's like, it's not your problem. And like, Rocky's like intentionally stirring the pot. And then Erica's like, what's going on? Because you're raising your voice. And Erica's trying to get Shaq to, walk away. And Shaq tells Erica not to touch him. And she's like, just close your mouth and walk away. And then this fight just, I don't know, it gets even worse. Blake's like, who's chirping in your ear? And Chelsea's like, I'm watching and now I'm observing you. And Blake is like, I'm trying to respect your space. You have a boyfriend, I'm not trying to be here. And then he's like, and then she's like, don't even act like it's my fault right now. Blake, you showed your true colors. I told you how I felt, and it's not fair. It's not fair right now. And then he asks, Griff, he's like, do you think that I'm fake? And Chelsea's like, do not pull these guys inside and make them uncomfortable. That's not cool. And then basically Blake's like, Chelsea has bad radar right now. She thinks I'm the bad guy. She thinks I'm fake and phony. And there's just a lot of back and forth. Erica's super upset. She's crying, talking to Jesse because she's irritated and she didn't really want to go off on Shaq, but Jesse's like, well, you did go off on him. And basically Erica says to Jesse that, she felt like, Shaq was raising his voice at Chelsea. So she was going to tell him to walk away. She was trying to help. And then Shaq comes up and apologizes. And he's like, my vibe. So I apologize. And then he was saying stuff like, oh, I have a younger sister and she's similar to you. I'm like, what?
Yeah, let's like dig into their conversation a little.
Go for it.
Yeah, so Erica and Shaq, like what happened there, right? Like I still don't understand how this fight happened because it was about neither of them. And I don't even think Erica and Shaq have said 2 words to each other before this fight. And all of a sudden they're defending their friends, but their friends aren't even around.
I'll let you know. They're honestly Shaq. At first I like Shaq, but what he told me this episode with his actions is that he's like, basically no, I don't know Shaq really.
I was like, is it what?
No. What the vibe he gives off is he gives off a follower's vibe, and I hate to see it, but it's just like I don't know. He first of all he let his obsession with Aaron for some reason get him in this funk that he never left. Like he went from being the nice guy at the house to just like some weirdo, and then right after that he's just like Blake couldn't fight his own fight for himself. You had to get involved for what? It's like it was weird. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Shaq. Like Blake's weird, but Shaq is weirder because what happened after that. I mean, we'll get into it, but the fact that Blake got to almost recover from all that, you just did his dirty work for you, and if someone gets eliminated, now you're going. So it's just like mind your business, like straight up mind your business. You're there for a reason. Do your job. Like I don't know why he's doing all that, but whatever floats your boat. Shaq. Well, I forget what he called himself. He called himself like some name or like
Savage. Shaq Savage.
Yeah, Shaq Savage. I'm like, get out of here. Like, no.
Yeah, no, it was a whole mess. And then Erica also, like, I don't know why she was like, shut your mouth, close your mouth, walk away. And I was like, Eric, what is to me, like, Erica, you have so much pent up issues from your own stuff that you can't talk back to Kendall. You can't talk back to anyone else. So guess who? Guess what? Any other man that's going to show up, you can finally speak up. I'm glad you found your voice, but what? And then she started, and then later, and we can move on to the next morning after this, but, or not next morning, to the other villa again. But the other piece was like when Eric and Jesse were talking, right? Shaq came to apologize. And then she goes, don't do this again, because next time it won't come easy. How about you tell your boyfriend that? How about that? Huh? How about you not get up at 4 a.m. to iron his damn clothes? Please. Not that I'm defending Shaq. I'm really not. But like,
Nah, I
please.
feel that though. I feel you.
It
It's
was
just I
really
don't know.
irritating
This is a
to
very
see her.
because as Abby would say, it's just like this cast is so unlikable. Like it just I don't.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people I just don't like. Like I don't know. Usually there's like some standout people other than like maybe what's the one guy that we actually do
Julian,
like
of course.
yeah other than like Julian like everyone and you know like everyone's just being on my nerves like I don't know why but yeah.
Yeah, and then we go back right to the other party. And these girls are wild.
Jumping in the pool,
Ooh.
multiple girls kissing each other in the like
I
diary room. Kendall's like, "Oh shoot!"
That was the most monotone. Oh shoot! Like what? This man is like, what happened? Like this is where I think Geneva, you also said right, given Alexis any attention in her life, and it's so obvious. Alexis
yeah.
and that other girl, I forget her name. She has a weird name too, I think. But those two girls, like, they just really unfortunately need. Oh, Katrina, yeah, the spider legs.
Mhm.
Like they both just I've never. You can tell they just really crave attention and
Oh yeah.
will do anything to get it, which is like sad, just honestly sad.
You know, I like I want some of these people to have like I don't know dignity. Just
You
like
don't come on Temptation Island if you have
I
dignity
know
now.
like I how many more episodes are even in this season? It's like I love this season still, but it feels like each episode we go by, the people are starting to become just like unlikable. Like I don't know. It's just like I love some of these people. Like even I mean we're going to get into it, but even like I'm gonna wait till we get to there. Did we go?
Okay, sounds good.
Because I'm
So
pretty
yeah,
sure it's the next thing.
we reflected, but Corey reflects again on Alexis and Kendall and
Yeah,
realizes
yeah.
they're moving hot and heavy very quick. He's wondering about Aaron. So that sort of thing. Amanda had a conversation basically saying she almost looked for a way out in a past relationship because she wasn't strong enough to look at her partner in the eyes and tell him that she couldn't continue. So that was a conversation they were having. Basically, people were going to bed. They're all like, good night, hugging each other, whatever, that sort of thing. Kendall's like, what are you doing? Are you chilling? Why are you making that face? Referring to Alexis as being a tricky one, saying she's tricky. Alexis is saying Erica should be worried. Their flirtiness is progressing. There's potential for her and Kendall to take the next step. Kendall says it feels warm and toasty in here in his room. Kendall says, like, it's fine. I'm not tripping. I'm just glad that we're on the same page. Kendall says he's falling for Alexis.
Falling for not please. You're falling for we know what. And it's not her face. Foolish.
Exactly.
Her body. So
He's going with the flow. He's mentioning, he's like, he's not really thinking about if Erica's going to see this because at the end of the day, he is full-blown single in the villa. He's doing whatever he wants to do. And then they basically have sex, which I think is pretty clear. So
yeah.
He's such a ratchet person. Again, I just can't get over the fact that there is an ironing board in that room. And I don't know if that's production. Maybe it is, but like, he literally is a bottom feeder. Like he just is. And he has potential to be a serial killer because he obviously has zero empathy and does not understand feelings and like is so narcissistic that just believes, the world revolves around him and that he can just everyone will come back to him and like zero consequences apparently exist in the world. So yeah, it was just like, again, gross. And I just didn't appreciate, again, I know we talked about this already, but like that little music they had, like the little looks they were giving each other. It's not cute. This is not a rom-com that it's like, oh, ramping up and it's gonna get hot and sexy. Like it's gross. He's cheating on someone. He's in a he's like made toxic. like environment for her. And yeah, he's ratchet and like ugh. And that next morning thing was also so gross.
Yeah, the worst thing for me is that you see the true person in the confessionals, right? Like it could be one thing in their face, but the confessionals their time to be straight up, and he kept the same energy. So I'm just like, there's actually something wrong with you here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
He was literally like, so when your nosy friends ask what's up, what are you gonna say? And it's also like, we all saw it on TV and they're gonna see it later, even if you don't tell them. Like
what are
you know
doing?
who says that? People that have something to hide.
Yep.
That's the only time you say something like
I'm
that.
just gonna say it was a good night. Sounds good.
Foolish.
And then she basically says, I really believe he wants to leave with someone better than who he has now. That makes me happy because that is me.
So first of all, I want to know, because she says this is a dream, something like a dream, and I didn't know this would happen to me. Right. So I really want to talk through this. You dreamt that a man would cheat on his girlfriend and you would be the side piece, and that is your dream on a reality show.
That is her dream, apparently.
I think she was just, I mean, maybe she was just talking to talk. I don't know. But like,
it's weird romanticizing something that shouldn't be romanticized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You lose them how you found them, girls.
I mean,
remember that.
I don't know. Didn't she say that she has a history with cheating too?
Yes, they're made for each other. It's probably what it is.
I don't know. I can't wait for the reunion. Like, that's obvious because I already know they ain't gonna work out.
Yeah, and she thinks that Kendall will leave Erica to be with Alexis. Thanks, Joseph. Yes. I can't. I hate him so much. Anyway, sorry. And I love every like cut to Thomas flirting. Like every time it's a cut scene to Thomas, it's like him being weird and like flirting. You have really pretty eyes, right? Or some nonsense.
Yeah. It was
oh my god.
Something. And so, yeah, basically, all the women find out that they adult cuddled, and so everyone is happy for them. And then, basically, Mark Wahlberg shows up, and he's like, "Wow, Kendall, the numbers are in your favor, buddy. All the women are in the kitchen," and
he's in paradise.
Go away, and then just warns all the men that they're going to have another bonfire. And Kendall's like, "It is what it is." She knows where I stand.
Yes.
Way. If I still feel like Erica is the right person, then I don't plan on being single forever. And this is my last trip around the road. Honestly, which is not honest because it is not your last trip. I don't believe you.
No, it probably is his last trip. It's just the trip is never going to end. Like he's going to stop at every single house and hotel on his way. Like that's what's going on. Like I think in his mind, he really sees this as his last hurrah before he gets married. But oh my God, if she takes him back, y'all. Oh my God.
She better not. She better find a new boyfriend while she's there because I can't.
What I'm afraid of, because this happened last season, what they do is they'll leave the island not together, but then like I remember a couple who did that ended up getting back together and it was toxic, and it's like, why did you do that? So I really hope she learned from this.
I hope her friends and family are like,
because she said she got cheated on before too, so I mean she just hid it from
when Kendall cheated on her too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm
just saying that she didn't tell anybody. Like even though even Mark was like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this, so it's like, oh, like this guy's really bad, so I don't know. Like he needs to learn from this. Like both of them, they just need to go their separate ways after this.
Yes.
I agree. And then, Aaron's chatting, Kristen's chatting, and then Chelsea and Blake have another conversation. And, basically, she mentions that her date with Blake went very well, but she feels like Blake is not here for the right reasons. And then Blake's like, oh, you're entitled to your opinion. Do you think you could catch feelings for Tommy? And she's like, oh, do you feel some type of way for me spending time with him? And he's like, well, I'm not asking basically from a jealous angle. I want you to have fun. But it just sounded like if you're saying you feel like you can, catch feelings for him, to me it sounds like you're a little bit jealous, Blake. Just throwing that out there. And Blake just says he's gonna keep being who he is and that he's genuine and cares about people. And so, we'll see where things go, how things go for him and Chelsea, I guess. And it seems like Tom, Evan, and Dave, I believe, in the confessional room are ready to make some moves in the next few days on some of the women. And that was such a weird scene. I don't know. And then Chelsea going into the bonfire, she's basically realizing she can't change Thomas for who he is, and won't probably be able to change his flirty behavior, but she's starting to probably change and become more confident in herself. So, any thoughts before we get to the bonfire?
I mean, I think she's going to get her heart broken because I think Thomas is going to move on. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, his energy was way different when it first started out. He was curving people. He was like, I have a girlfriend, but now he's kind of like soothing in and flirting now. And I think they're going to kiss by like the next 2 episodes. So I don't know. Like right now, these couples minus like Julian's and Kirsten. Other than Kristen and Julian, like these other couples are flopping. I mean, Corey and Aaron, they might make it through. I don't know yet. They might, but like these couples are flopping, and it's unfortunate because the people they're flopping for aren't even like good options. So.
Yes, that's the best way to put it. Yeah,
so sad.
Real quick, I also hate. Yeah. Those 3 guys that we're talking about, they're like, "Oh, you think you're going to smash?" Like, oh, like wow, losers. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. So we basically start with Kristen. So we see that fun clip that Sasha was talking about earlier, where Julia and Maya were on the date, and how he sees a lot of his girlfriend, in Maya, and so Kristen doesn't really see anything wrong with the interaction. She basically, doesn't see at least a pair like that Julian's cheating on her. So she seems to be fine. And basically Mark asks about like, is like, like the sex or the physical situation, like more of an issue than the heart. And she basically says the sex is probably a bigger issue than the heart. And she says she's willing to open up about her relationship and mistakes, but not things that were unexpected in her past. So Mark's like, I will never ask you about anything you don't want to talk about. But
then I'll keep pushing.
Yeah, basically. But I want you to know that these things are related to each other. So I don't want you to forget that. So yeah, she basically talked a lot about how they are intertwined, and basically, when those painful moments happened, it made her serious about her life. And basically, Julian showed her that he wasn't serious about a relationship at that time. She needed him, and she held on because she had to. And she mentions that she doesn't cry a lot in front of people, so not in front of Julian or her mom. Basically, it's been weird for her because she's been able to open up in front of complete strangers. It's difficult to explain, but and she talks about the challenge of trying to move on and wanting to leave things in the past. It's weighing her down. So, and they talk about pain and whether she, wants to be having like a sharp pain, or feeling
so
pain.
weird.
If you want closure and not pain, don't come to a TV show about cheating. I'm like, let's be real, y'all. Like, I hear it, like, I think that's why I was laughing. Like, it's not funny. Like, I feel bad for them, and like, I do wish the best, but it's like, I find it very funny because it's like, why did you guys feel the need to come here? Like, I can't take you serious if you're coming on a television show to try to fix your relationship. Sorry, but I mean, I do wish them the best, but it's like you did it to yourself at the same time.
Very reasonable to say, Isaiah. I agree with you. I don't think people should be going on Temptation Island to fix your relationship. I don't know. Like, I like watching the show, but I just
Oh
feel
yeah,
like
me too.
it would never be something that really makes sense to do, honestly. So yeah, for Erin, they show her the Corey clip talking about Texas, that whole flirty banter.
Okay.
Yeah, so Erin says that it sucked to watch that because to hear your boyfriend is opening up to someone and forming a connection with someone, it was tough for her to hear, and she's guarding certain things and not fully opening up. But she feels like if she doesn't, she's gonna lose her boyfriend. But saw that conversation seemed very real. And basically, Mark says that there are two outcomes of opening up. You risk falling for them, or you gain knowing that you have true love with Corey. Either way, you're the winner. And she's like, oh, I never really thought about it like that. So
Mark probably doesn't have a degree in psychology, but looks like that he should be a therapist. Yeah.
It makes me think he does. So
I mean, yeah, but like y'all acting like Mark ain't a part of showing them clips. You know what he's doing.
Oh,
Just like
of
they try to make Julian look bad last week. I did not forget about that. I hated that. I'm talking to you, Mark. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
So then Chelsea, they show the clip of Thomas putting the flower in Sophia's hair and Sophia kissing Thomas on the cheek and that flirty banter. And I'm just like, okay. But Chelsea's like, that's why I'm here. He makes me feel uncomfortable in the way where I'm respectful for our relationship. When I came in here, I am letting my guard down and I'm going to meet other people, let them in. And I'm already feeling like, I have these connections with these guys and it's freaking me out. And if I see, like these clips, and he's still going to disrespect our relationship, for me, it's like, I can't put my heart out there and, change, who he is, but I can still love him, but we're not probably meant to be together. Mm-hmm. And, Mark basically is like, well, maybe he hasn't done anything wrong, but that doesn't matter. It's how you feel about it that matters.
Mark Zuckerberg. Like I said, and this is actually fun because I never get to be a panelist for these things. I just can't take people seriously. Like, oh man, just do this at home, people. For anyone's watching this, don't come to Temptation Island. I mean, if you're just there for the clout, obviously come there because we like
then
talking
we can
about
talk
that.
About you.
We like talking about people, but it's just like it's so hard. It's so hard to see people with like real actual like issues when it comes to like things like their confidence or like how their relationship issues, and then just kind of they come to the show just for it to get escalated to a bigger magnitude. So hopefully they fix it.
Yeah. And last but not least,
RIP
Erica. And
I felt better for her this time. Well, obviously not for what she saw, but I mean, like, if she can finally enjoy the experience. I mean,
I hope.
I don't want people to try to paint her like some villain, but like, have fun while you're there. You don't have to. If that means hooking up with someone, do what you gotta do. If that means just looking for another relationship, or just like talking to people, just having fun, do what you gotta do. But like, you're not bound to anyone anymore, And I don't want to hear Kendall say, oh, like, she's single, I'm single, we're going to come together, it makes us stronger. No, it doesn't, you freak. No. Like, keep it in your pants. Like, I think she's probably going to cry next episode, obviously. Who will? Is going to be more open. I do think she's going to either rush herself into something that she's not going to want to impulsively, or maybe she might drink or something. I don't know. But, I hope that she finally opens up. It just sucks that the guys that she has options to open up to suck.
What happened to that one guy she went on a date with? Oh, Lex.
They spoke this episode. I think.
Lex,
oh, wait,
is that his
talking
name?
about the black guy?
The black guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Then I don't know.
Not Jesse. Not Jesse.
I think Jesse. Yeah.
The one my friend dated him.
Yeah.
Lex, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to him? He was so nice. I didn't even see him in
We
that
might see
episode.
a return. So I mean, I don't know. Like,
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's
usually if they're asked on a date, they're gonna make another appearance. Like if they weren't important, they wouldn't have been shown at all. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Evan
really hope
would
for
make that-
Erica because she's been cheated on before, not just with Kendall, but in her previous relationship. Then she made an exception for Kendall, and then he made her believe that like it wasn't even a big deal. She forgot about it. Like this is a whole mess.
It's manipulation.
Yeah, Evan and Jesse were the breakout stars for
Mhm.
now because
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but yeah, the one I think big revelation about this whole segment is that, I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me, but it's still, it's still good to have the confirmation that Kendall has cheated before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like surprise, shocked face.
The audacity of this guy to go on his tangent saying, "Oh, I look for someone who's constantly doing something, evolving."
Yeah, because he's constantly doing something.
That makes him look even worse than he does now. Looking back, I'm like, ooh, like so you cheat on her, but you have all these expectations for her. It was
Yeah,
just
it's like she should have more expectations of you. Well, I mean, I think she should have dumped him, but basically, she did say though, basically after seeing the sex clip, she's just like, I just want to laugh, almost 2.5 years, giving you my all, putting myself down, ignoring my emotions in my last relationship prior to Kendall. Oh yeah, this was really shocking. She's like, I was literally cheated on every single weekend. I was like, what? That just made me sad. So she's like, I promised myself that I would in the next relationship not tolerate that. I made an exception for Kendall, and it was another, to put your emotions to the side because you're being irrational and you don't have to leave. It's crazy because he spent so much time forcing me to act like it never happened. That's the first time I said it out loud. Sometimes I forget it happened. And then even Mark was like, you never even mentioned that to me. So that was just...
I hope her dad beat him up like she said he would.
Yeah, good luck to him because
he's not even that important,
No.
for your dad to do anything. Like that's the kind of like, again, just hot garbage he is. Like where she should be a non-factor in your life. Like, just toss him out with the rest of the trash.
What this told me is that only maybe Chelsea, but the rest of the girls probably don't have any interesting clips to show, so that's why they probably skimmed over it again. I mean, the only thing I think of was Chelsea like backing it up on somebody. I forget who it was.
Yeah, for sure. They'll take anything at this point.
Thomas, he can get out of here if he feels some type of way because he got kissed on the cheek. Shut up. Screw you, Thomas. Anyway,
he's like, what are you going to do?
He's going to be like, I'm so hurt.
Also, Thomas looked old as hell in that clip. I was like, I could see now that you're 40.
Yeah. This is unlikable bunch. But I'm rooting for old girl Erica. I want. What did Abby say? She said, I hope she gets some peen. Let her. I hope she finally can enjoy her experience.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yeah, I hope so too. And the girls mentioned, we're going to celebrate this new and improved Erica, and so I can't wait to see this new and improved Erica because I'm sure she's wonderful. So I'm excited to see her love journey because at this point, that's what's going to happen. I don't foresee Erica getting back with Kendall at this point because I think she's realizing it's not worth it.
Yep. So that's the episode. Eventful. I think we're finally about to see the we say this every single episode, but I think now that someone finally did something sexually, the season's about to be a mess. So, we'll see how it goes because now there could be a back and forth. Versus before, people were just waiting for someone to make the first move, and Kendall was like, "We all knew that Kendall was going." Like, we literally.
Oh yeah, are we surprised?
Remember, we had a bet. We were like, "Who's going to be the first one to cheat?" Oh, there you go. So we were right. So we'll see. But all right. I mean, we can just start closing out. Geneva, thank you for hosting. I had to step away during it, but Geneva, where can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me at Peace Love Jen on Twitter and Instagram. I tweet about reality television, especially now about Big Brother Canada, tweeting about, Bachelor Nation, whatever is going on, the Circle, Celebrity Circle, all those shows and content. Sorry, some of you all had to see me deal with my allergies today, rough times, changes in weather,
You did
fluctuation.
great.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But yeah, be sure to also, of course, like this video, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts with us about this episode.
Yes. How about you, Sasha? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at funsize_04. And I hosted a royal wrap up about Meghan, Harry, and the interview with Oprah. You can hear it on the RH Rob Has a Podcast feed, reality wrap ups feed, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And I was on Monday on the recap for the Big Brother Canada episode with Rob Has a Podcast, so check that out. We were mostly laughing, and then there was some strategy talk in there, but mostly just like giggling about Wendy's, so check that out as well.
All right, check out her RHAP. You never know you're going to see from over here at RHAP, so keep
Ooh,
a
tea.
lookout. And then
2020, so
and then lastly, like usual, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, all that stuff at 8 Bangers. We are super busy over here, like usual. That's not really changing. But if you watch Celebrity Circle today, earlier today, we had Carrie and Leandro recap the first 2 episodes, and then they should be back on Saturday and Tuesday just to finish the celebrity version, and then they're going to hop right into regular. So look out for that if you're a Circle watcher. Also, tomorrow will be our very first recap of Big Brother Canada. The first 2 weeks, we're going to be with Sarah, Jeanette, Cheyenne, and Ganjo, and they are very excited. They've been preparing for it for like all week, so I'm very excited to see how they do. And then lastly, we should be back on Monday with Total Drama and so on and so forth. So keep a lookout. We will keep you guys updated. There's still a lot of stuff going on, but yeah. Until then, thank you for joining us for a late night recap, and have a good one. Bye.
Woohoo.